Right, gonna start the stream. Just edit this, save, and we are online. Feel like that's kind of an odd one. Kind of an odd way to play it. But then again, I don't really know how to play this one all that well. I think I'm going to do that just to take away the eye space, but that's also a really odd way to play this. Maybe I should have just like jumped over here. I'm not exactly sure. This is actually a kind of a weird starting play, honestly. Definitely kind of a weird starting play. Not definitely not one I'm familiar with. Good evening, good evening. Definitely not one I'm familiar with. It's probably what I expected. It's gonna do this. Yeah, really, really weird starting play. I don't really know what to say about it. Okay, so I would have definitely clamped on this side. So I am going to kind of threaten him over here. I don't I mean the opening this opening wasn't good for either of us. I don't really like the opening for white either, definitely. But for black it's definitely not that great. Cuz you didn't you really didn't gain much of anything. And I don't know. It's kind of strange. Um, maybe G17 was a better move. I'm not sure. I I don't really know like what to think about this start, honestly. Like I personally don't like it that much myself. White is a little bit under threat on like my four stones over here, but at the same time black doesn't feel completely comfortable either. So it's kind of strange how this is working out. That's just not a good move right now. It's just not because regardless of which way you force, it's just not a good move. I don't know if I responded to that right though, but regardless of which way you force, it's a bad move regardless. Okay. Going to actually take this to see what I don't think this is good by me, actually. I think this is actually pretty bad by me. Yeah, you have to make that move. Uh, oh, you can't do that. You absolutely have to play the L16 move. I think that was actually a really bad choice by me. But him not playing the L16 is horrible for him. Remember, I can just do this and live. This is not hard for me. I think if he played the L16 move, it actually would have been really bad for me. I should have when he went under, I definitely should have went N17 instead of Haneing. The Hane was more or less like a test to see how he would actually respond. Because I have B18, I'm basically alive here, so I'm not really under threat. You absolutely have to play L16. This was more of a response to see how people would play. Usually if he goes under, I would actually play I wouldn't play M18, I would actually play M17. This is the way to go here. Just taking this stone. The influence that he builds here doesn't mean all that much. I mean, that's fine, but not, I mean, whatever. No, probably shouldn't have done that actually. Now that I think about it, probably should have just played E3. I would have definitely played E3. This is just there's no territory in here. Guess tagging that's fine. Play this first. That's generally Sente. And if he blocks here, that actually might be Sente for black because I don't feel comfortable what's in here. I can always sacrifice these 3 stones though, because these 3 aren't worth very much right now. So you can see out of the influence he built up here, he didn't really get that much out of it. That's not really all that useful anymore because this is actually alive. This is pretty crucial because G3 would if he actually played G3 before, that would have been pretty bad. And now I'm going to do this. I wouldn't have answered that if I was black anyways. So if he plays G3, I have to respond on this side, and he actually has the ladder over here. I think this has been an interesting game so far because there's definitely several places where he could have actually taken the lead here. He could have definitely taken advantage on this right here. He definitely could have taken advantage over here, and I probably made some mistakes over here as well. I'm pretty sure N3 was the correct move there. Yeah, that's not a good move. It lets me get this entire corner. If you're going to push here, you actually have to cut one of these 2 points. Otherwise, it's a bad push for you. I can just attack now. For the most part. And then take this territory over here. Trying to make the center, but it's going to be incredibly hard for him to actually make the center here. And he's sacrificing a lot of points to do so. I'm going to decrease his possibility for territory in the center by doing this. Like, if he doesn't get territory in the center, he is significantly behind right now. Just going to do this because then I have the clamp later on. And he doesn't have any eye space down here. I might actually just play the clamp right now, actually. That doesn't really bother me, though. I'm just going to go this way. Forcing out like this is always bad. For the most part, you don't want to do this. There is one... Oh, no, 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 dang it. I misclicked. I meant to play like... I misclicked. I definitely meant to play this. Yeah, I hate when that happens. I misclicked there. Yeah, that's bad. That's actually... I'm just going to do this now. But that's actually pretty bad for me. That's really bad for me. I misclicked there. Hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's definitely bad. I just misclicked there. And that's actually what led to all of that. I think I just leave this alone right now. Because this is already alive. So I should just probably extend here. Okay. I'm just going to let him do that. It's not a big deal. come out here as well. Yeah, this misclick was like really, really bad for me. That's perfectly fine. My main intention with this move is is not to so much kill this group, is just to destroy his influence up here. Because territory-wise, he's still very, very much behind. He's still really behind in terms of territory. Oh, that's a bad move. Never mind. He's still very, very much behind in terms of territory. It's fine. I mean, at this point, that's not really all that relevant, but still. I'm just gonna make sure this is alive. There's not going to be much in there. He's going to have a little bit of territory in there, but there's not really going to be all that much. I want to play the ko with him. I mean, there's not that much territory in there, so why would I want to play the ko with him? Probably don't. Just going to let him have this. A little bit of territory. It's not really all that much. That actually fixes a lot of problems I have down there, which is fine. It's actually quite big. But now this becomes a huge problem for him. I lost so much on this misclick right here. It's like crazy. That doesn't really make too much sense, honestly. That's already alive, so I don't think I have to answer that. I'm just going to take the Sentes over here. He does have to answer that. This is actually pretty big. There's a couple of other decent moves, I think. I suppose that's okay. Just make sure that this is alive. Don't make any dumb mistakes and I'll be fine. Break apart part of his territory over here. I should have blocked that one. Oh no, there's no clamp there anymore, I guess. This game's a lot closer than the other games I played, mainly because I like screwed up here because I misclicked. But otherwise, not too bad. I probably would have taken the big jump here. Do I need to answer that? I don't think so. So that's there. I think I'm just going to do this. Then just do this. There's actually a pretty big difference in the number of points between white and black right now. You might not see it, but white has significantly more points. Yeah. I don't think there's anything in here.
Byoyomi.
You know what? Just gonna connect this to make sure I don't have any errors. I'm making a lot of mistakes this game. It's not like you can get much out of it anyways. As long as I can make an eye here, there's basically nothing here. It really doesn't matter. I have an eye, he doesn't have an eye, therefore I win. Pretty simple concept. And there is a decent amount of points that are in here. So there is a move here. But I'm going to do this because it's Sente. He cannot do this move here right now. Do I do this? You know what?
10.
Yeah. I was thinking of like, that's fine. Because this stone isn't really that big. I was thinking about just playing M9. He ends up playing it. That's perfectly fine. Gonna do this. He has to respond. Doing this. He should respond. Not in that way, though. I'm going to do this first because it is Sente. Yeah. I'm not going to respond to that. Okay, it's cool, but not really. This is not Sente here. He can't do anything here, so it's fine. It's not worth that much, basically. Like I said, there's nothing here because I have an eye and he doesn't. It's not co-live. Like, if he had an eye here, it would be co-live, but he doesn't. There's no way he can make it real eye, so it doesn't really matter here. Okay. This is a point. This is a point. I mean, he might want to play that with me, but I don't think it matters all that much. Okay, he actually does want to play the ko. Tari. Just gonna. Actually, I don't feel like playing the ko. I'm just gonna connect this. There's other points that are available. This is like 2 or 3 points, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Yep. That's not a point. Just gonna fix all the errors. He should just connect this. This is like the only thing left, actually.
Pass.
Don't forget about that. There's still a point there. I don't really want to fight this.
Pass.
So hurry up and connect that.
Pass. Remove the dead stones.
Yeah, so like I'm up significantly even after that thing. Because like he lost too much advantage in the middle. I didn't think I was up by 50. I thought I was up by maybe like 30, but if I'm not really counting
You
very
have
carefully,
won.
if I'm not counting very carefully, I tend to be off by a lot. So this is just like a strange game to actually start. I feel like you pretty much have to do this. You can always just play it this way. It is risky because he, like white can do something like this, and then you play the ko early. But if you really think about it, white doesn't have any ko threats, so white essentially has to connect. You can connect here, and
Challenge received.
realistically, like I might go accept. I'll accept the challenge. I'll accept the challenge after I explain this game. Realistically, like if you do this, like yeah, white can do this, but like I said, he has no co-threats in the beginning of the game. So like if he goes to approach, you just connect this, and then now he has to answer or he's dead. So you end up a lot better than white. So I feel like I almost feel like that's the crucial move right there. Of course, like he connects. I don't actually know how to deal with this, honestly. I probably should have just done this, honestly, but I'm not exactly sure how to deal with this situation. I took the eye space, but doing this leaves like stuff like this open. So I don't think that was a good move. I probably should have just done this or something like that, or maybe even nah. This is probably this is probably the right move. Um, yeah, probably something like that. So that doesn't make too much sense to me. And obviously, like here, like I probably would have clamped, but this is also perfectly fine as well for black. So he does that. This is the best move for white, but I wanted to attack him, but I had a feeling that f17 was probably the best move, but I wanted to attack him a little bit. He goes up here. Here, like, you obviously have to haunt. This is pretty much an obvious hane. That is a pretty big shape move. So he does that. I'm going to come up. He does that. I think I should probably just do this. Because that gives him that. That's not a good move. That's going to be the best move. And then you just, like, cut. There's a lot of, like, transformations here, as you can see, but the cut's the better. The charge, the cut's the better move. That's why, like, this is the best move here. So doing that costs you a lot of points. I'm going to block straight away. This is a very, very bad exchange for black. You do not want to do that. That doesn't make any sense. Going over, letting me fly down. Like, here you would probably just jump. There's not much territory in here. You're not going to threaten me because I already have this extend. So you just kind of solidify yourself here. Letting me get this is very bad. That's a horrible move by me. This is the correct move. This, you can see like my advantage is going down right here. This is absolutely the right move. Okay, I'm not going to do, like, if I do this and you take, I have no coat. I mean, like, I guess I can do this. This is like pretty much the only coat threat I have. But like there's a lot of problems for me. Like if you do this, I have to block and then you can just take over. I have no more co-threats. Like even if I do something like this, even if you take it, like it's not good for white. I mean, I can't even do this anyway. I mean, like I can do that, but I don't know. Like I don't think it's that. I don't think this is this. I don't know how good that is for white. And plus, you have plenty of co-threats here. Plus, you have plenty of co-threats here. Like, you connect this, I take this. You still have a lot. You actually still have a lot of co-threats here. I mean, even if you, I mean, like this probably can work as well. I don't know. I mean, I feel like because I can't block here. I feel like there's just, I feel like black pretty much. I feel like black pretty much, like regardless or not, black pretty much has to do this. Absolutely has to do this. That is critical. Like, that's definitely losing out. I'm coming up because I'm completely destroying your side now. You're not going to be able to threaten me here. That's the problem. You're really just not going to be able to threaten me here. Do that. Extend out. I'm going to take this. That, I mean, it's okay, but it's not crucial right now. So I'm going to approach. So here I would definitely do this. Just trade your side for this side. That's exactly what I would do. I would, yeah. This, you're letting me have too much. That is okay, but I'm going to do this first. This actually might be Sente, because there's like E18. I'm not exactly sure. I would have probably not answered here and probably just done something else, but there's like a clamp here and stuff. But the thing is, like, you also have to remember, I can sacrifice these 3 stones. If you clamp here, I'm probably going to go down. And if you do this, I'm just going to give you these 3 stones. So doing this, obviously no good. I'm going to just like solve my problem here and not let you attack me anymore. See, like, I don't think this move is actually worth, I mean, this move is okay, but to me, it's not worth nearly as much anymore. It's a good move because of shape. It's not a bad move. It's a good move because of shape. But like, it's not worth as much anymore because you can't attack that group down there anymore. So I'm going to come up here because I think this is even more important. This also kind of like fixes this problem here. So I'm going to do this. I think this is like pretty much an automatic Hane for black. This gives me Sente. It's too easy. I'm going to do this. This invasion, meh. Like, I'm not going to try to be able to, I'm not going to be able to get the entire side. I feel like this move isn't, like, that's easily the best move right now. Because this kind of solidifies me. If you're going, like, look, honestly, if you're going to push, you have to think about cutting. Because there's no point in you there's no point in you playing this way if you're not cutting. Which is why I think, like, this is the best move. Because, like, doing this and then doing this and letting me connect gets me the entire corner. You still have a fairly weak group here, so you didn't really accomplish all that much. Here, I'm just going to pincer and extend. This is generally, I mean, like, I can see why you're doing this to get the top. But this type of territory is going to be very, very tough to build. Like, I know some of you might not see it right now, but white's actually already significantly ahead right now. Just going to reduce that Moyo. Here, I would play this probably. Or something like that. Or maybe I would like play this just to build the Moyo up here even more. Doing this, it just gives me way too much for free. Now note I didn't do this because if I do, I don't want you to have something like, I don't want you to connect right now. So doing this, like just extending back is going to be the better move because you leave the clamp here and you can actually attack this group much easier. So he plays this. There's this move. I just left it in there to see like if he could actually find it. Right now, like, yeah, that's going to be very troublesome for white if black plays that way. But however, because of the way it is right now, I mean, like, I think this is a live if black, I'm pretty sure this is a live if black moves first. So I kind of left like this move just to see if he could actually, if he would actually play it. I might also do that because this is in here is not really alive. But once again, like this is actually pretty problematic for white overall because this is kind of Sente if you think. Well, it's not really Sente now, but I like there's always that there's always this move in the future. So I kind of left that there. This obviously I just made a misclick here. I obviously wanted to do that. But this generally, like forcing me out this way is generally bad. Because your groups here aren't really all that. Your groups here aren't really all that strong. Obviously, like me making a misclick is very good for him. And then him doing this, I'm just going to leave it alone and do this. I just want, and this like obviously reduces my advantage by a lot because I made a screw up there. That I'm going to just try to reduce this Moyo. That is not a good move because it's not Sente. It's just not very big right now. This, I'm going to come out and try to attack this. Try to like surround this. This is a bad move because this is a pretty bad move. I think there's ways you can actually attack this and cut these 2 stones off. That's what he should have done because there's obvious problems here. You can use advantage. You can definitely take advantage of my weaknesses here. And there's not much I can do that much about it. You might actually be able to get this entire top territory. See, like, sometimes I play these kind of moves. Sometimes I definitely play these kind of moves just to see what the other player will actually do. But this probably, like, this kind of shape probably would not work against a higher level player. That's more or less to protect that shape. And of course, now this shape doesn't really have those problems. And this shape doesn't have these problems at all. Like, trading this and this is bad for black, because trading this and this completely takes away, like, plays like this. Although, like, at this point, I would just do this. So, that takes away a lot of the transformations. That's why it's so damaging. That also isn't that big, because this is no longer under threat. You could just easily do something like this, which is going to be much bigger and much more... It's just going to be much better for you actually making this territory. But right now, honestly, this is probably bigger. So I'm going to do that first. Going to get that in. I basically do this just to make sure this is alive. And this, I mean, this isn't really big because I can actually just do that. So I'm just going to hop in. I'm just going to take the Sente because I know, like, here there's just not that many points anymore. He should, I mean, I guess he does have to answer that, but... This is like really, really big. This extension's very big. That's fine. Then that's okay. I'm going to block. And obviously, like, this is a big, big problem. You pretty much, if you're black, you pretty much have to do this and let me get this. You obviously just kind of do this at this point. This is a lost cause. You're not going to be able to get this out. You just do this and let me have these points. So yeah, this is just increasing my lead. That's fairly big, but I think this is bigger. I'm pretty sure that's bigger. This is Sente, so I'm always going to do it. And I'm definitely going to go down here because it's bigger. That's okay. Basically just going to do that. But this is Gote, so... Not a really great move right now because it's Gote right now for you. I'm just going to take some Sentes here. I'm pretty sure you just block this. But if you want to... So I'm going to take some Sentes here, going to take some Sentes here, and then I'm going to go down here. You can see like my lead increased from like 25 to 35 just by doing that. Like this move, like you just shouldn't do because obviously it's not Sente. So him actually doing this gains me another 3 points. I'm going to extend that. He's going to block, and I'm just going to take all these Sentes here. That's fine. That's actually fairly large, and I'm going to do that. This is not worth responding to. Here you would probably just do this or something like that. Obviously, you can't do that. And the rest of it is just ending game. That's basically where this game is. Very, very bad exchange for black at the beginning. A couple of, like, I definitely made a lot of mistakes here myself because I don't really know how to play this all that well. But, like, you know, like I said, at the very beginning, at the very, very beginning, you have to, like at the very, very beginning, like, this is probably the correct move. And when I do this, you do this. So kind of like, you know, just different like shape and positional mistakes that he decided this game. So, where is that? Where is that game that you challenged me to? Where's that game that you challenged me to? I can't find it. Where's the game that you challenged me to? I don't... Wait, where's the challenge games? Huh, that's weird. It went away. I thought I had a challenge here.
Challenge received.
Can you actually make it 10 minutes and 5 times 30 seconds? I don't really have that much time right now. So can you make it like 10 minutes and then like 10 minute 10 minute standard and then 5 times 30 seconds? Because I'd rather have like a slightly faster game. I do actually need to go do something later today. So I will accept your challenge. Just go ahead and make it like a little bit of a faster game.
Challenge received.
Whatever.
Game started.
Wait, I don't... I really don't like playing handicap. Handicap is hard for me to play because it forces me to play... it actually forces me to play moves that I don't usually play. And I'm not very good with handicap games. I said I'd rather have like faster time constraints because... Well, mainly because I don't really have much time right now. So I can't really play like a 2-hour game and review. That's fine. All right, I'll play a handicap game on stream. It's fine. I might not do that well because I'm not used to playing handicap 9, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's just play it. Let's just play this. Let's just play this. We can just play it. It's not a big deal. Oh, yeah, that's not the way you would play that, but okay. This is actually okay for handicap. It's just not very good for if you're playing even though. This is definitely not the way you want to play. You would play 03 instead of this. Like with handicap 9, you start with such a huge advantage. With HCAP 9, you start with a massive, massive advantage. That you don't really have to do much in order to actually win. And the thing is, like, just trying to outpoint you in a handicap 9 game is very difficult for white. So I have to, like, in an HCAP 9 game, I have to produce enough errors or big errors somewhere. Because basically, I'm giving you a head start of like 100 points. I'm essentially giving you a head start of 100 points, or more possibly. My dad's so much better at playing handicap games than I am. My dad's so much better at playing HCAP games than I am. He knows how to take advantage of weaker players a lot better than me. Like, if you're interested in HCAP games, like you should actually look at how I play like handicap 6 games with like Katago. It's the wrong move. Should have played something else first before playing this, actually. Generally, like the N8 follow-up is going to be very important. Okay, that's probably the worst outcome you can get, so I'm going to do this. Actually, that was probably the wrong move by me. He's still... Actually, that's not a bad move. I mean, it's not great for him, but it's not bad. It's like, when you're playing HCAP 9, there's just so many errors that aren't there. When you're playing handicap 9, you're just giving away so much. That's a really bad move by him, though. Now he's kind of trapped himself. He should have just played p5 and killed these stones. This is actually a tough one. I could play this for this group, but I think I'm going to take this first. There's just things that you have to think about in HCAP9 that I don't have to think about in other terms. Like, there are just so many generated errors. Now I'm just going to do this first because that gets me attack on this group. He should have he definitely should have just cut. If he actually cuts, I can't do anything. I'm going to take these 3 stones, obviously. Oh, now we're like fighting that ko. Now we're 100% fighting the ko. But that ko is actually okay for me. Oh, that's not good. You have to fight this ko. You have a lot of ko threats. You absolutely that's a winning ko for black. You need to fight the ko. White like has no ko threats. You also don't need.
Undo requested. Undo granted.
So right here, before doing any of this stuff, our Q17 is the move that you actually need to make, because that separates out these two groups. Not really sure what the purpose of that move was. Should definitely answer my approach over here. It's okay. It's not. That's definitely not. Oh, you can't do that. You have to. You absolutely have to. You have to connect that. This actually makes me a lot stronger than I was. See, the thing is, like, when you're playing, I think, like, handicap 6 and above, you can't play regularly. Because if you're playing regularly, you're kind of in the mindset of, well, I'm just going to give myself 9 stones. And that just doesn't, like, saying that I'm going to give myself 9 stones just generally doesn't work. Because you obviously can't give yourself 9 stones. Also, I should have played something before I played that, but whatever. Um, that's why I don't play handicap games, because it makes me play a lot differently than what I would actually play in tournament. Like, realistically, like, none of these moves would actually work playing against like uh, a, playing against like a better player, like, um, because this like whole thing would just be dead. Like, you play silly invasions and stuff, like the one here, because you start behind by so many that you have to like make up the points somewhere sooner or later. Like, I've actually played the best bots with the 9 stone handicaps, and I'm able to beat them pretty easily actually, just by playing really safe. Like, I don't like I'm at a level where, like, if you give me 9 stones, I can just not make catastrophic mistakes, and you can't gain like 100 points on me. I gotta play this way. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. Usually I wouldn't do this because it makes these 3 stones so weak. But right now I don't really have that much of a choice. It's like you start down by so much that you just have to like find ways to make it work essentially.
Undo requested. Undo granted.
I don't actually know how to make this work right now. Because it's pretty bad. Maybe. We'll see. It's not the right move, definitely. And this is how you make things work, by other people's mistakes. It's the only way in handicap games. At this point, I think I'm doing pretty well, actually. But this should have been dead. That should have 100% been dead. I already have this bottom territory. There's not much here for me to gain, so C7 is just much bigger. Interesting. I think I'm just going to do this. I was thinking about playing the extension in, but it didn't really seem like a good move. Still isn't worth all that much. Just gonna go ahead and do this. Oh wait. Yeah, I do have to do this. There was the D12 move. I forgot about that. So doing this, that was actually pretty big. Okay, that fixes that issue. Let's take some centes. Okay, that's fine. And that actually makes this decently big. He does get this territory, but it's you'll see it's not really that big of a territory compared to some of the other moves that are actually available. This is more of a secure move. I mean, it's already alive, but this is more of a security move on my part. It's actually pretty good, but there is still stuff like this. Because of all this other stuff down here, this move is actually fairly large. That's pretty big, actually. I'm going to do this first, though. I'm not really going to answer that because that's not really that big. There's already no points there, so I'm just going to take the centes here. And this is much bigger. It's fine. I mean, if you're going to do that, you kind of have to connect this. To do this, but eventually I do have to take this. I still have a couple more liberties than he does because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. But I didn't have to do that right now. There's one off, so I'm going to do this. Sorry. Connect this. Okay. It's fine. This is... I'm going to connect this. That has a few too many cutting points for my comfort. Then we're going to just do this. No. I can play c18, and if I was losing, I would actually play c18. I'm just going to go ahead and play this. Just gonna don't feel too comfortable about it, so I'm just gonna play this. I don't think there's anything there. I highly doubt there's anything there, but just in case. I think that's pretty much, I'm just gonna do this, but I think that's pretty much it. I didn't need to fix that. There's nothing there.
Remove the dead stones.
It's like there's a lot of errors. There's actually a lot of errors that he actually played here. There's obviously like
You have won.
there is something here. I mean, I still won by like there is something here that I didn't really point. I guess like I guess here would have been, yeah. I don't see anything here actually. But then again, I'm not too good. I mean, like, if he does that, he's just alive. So essentially, you have to play this move. But then he can just kind of play this move. I don't see where that is. But either way, whatever. I mean, that's the move you would actually invade with. But he could just play that. I don't really see how you can do anything if he just plays this. But whatever. So 9 stones here. 9 stones is roughly 109 point handicap. I'm going to play here. He does this. This is fine. That's you just play the regular thing here. These 2 stones are very weak with all the stones you have around here. So you just play the regular like Joseki. It doesn't really matter. This is not a good move. Lets me extend. Gets you the little hop. And then I get this move. Generally, like if I was playing even, I'd obviously do something about these 3 stones, but you can't really do that when you're playing 9 stone handicap. Here, if you want to pincer, the correct pincer is actually here. But realistically, I would just do this. That's actually not a bad move right now. That guarantees you all the bottom territories. See, like in a 9 stone handicap game, if you can actually secure bits of territory at a time, white generally can't win against you. White's trying to generate mistakes. And this is exactly what white is actually trying to do. Because white's trying to separate you so he can actually go on an attack. That's generally bad. I probably shouldn't have answered that, but I shouldn't have answered that, but still, trapped him in here. That's fine. And then I'm going to try to attack like this stone here. It's okay. That's not a good move. I mean, you just pincer this, have me jump out, and then just jump out here. Gives me an extra move. I'm going to go ahead and invade there. I'm going to just take away this territory. It's generally okay. That's not a good move. This is already more or less like, you could even just do something like this and then just like come out here. Because like, yeah, maybe I can do this, but I mean, if you look at this, like you're still out. I have a lot of disconjoint groups here and I'm very, very weak and you already have some territory. So that would be a very good result for black. So essentially, like if you're afraid of this, I would just do this and white would do this and then you just go somewhere else. So forcing me down is definitely bad. And then doing that, letting me do that, that I probably would just not answer if I was black. It's not really all that threatening. I would definitely just jump out here and attack these 4 stones. This doesn't really do anything. Yeah, I can get that stone. It's not worth very much, and it gives you an extra move to like do something like this. So I wouldn't do that anyways. So coming up here. So like, yeah, coming up here. That's not good. You almost. I think that's pretty much standard because that threatens the cut there. It forces me to move and then you can just kind of like attack these stones here. So here, it's fine. That's a weird move. I feel like you should, if you want to do anything, like you're generally fine. There's not, I mean like here, that I would definitely just do that. I mean, I know you're looking at this, but you can just go ahead and do this if I do that. Like, this stone isn't worth very much at all. It doesn't really help me. So that stone's not really all that worthless. So, like, remember, if white breaks here, if white cuts here, you do not connect this and let him take the 2 stones. You counter, and then you squeeze. Because he doesn't really get much from that. So, obviously, like, when I do this, like, this is the right move. That shuts me in still. So I do this. I'm going to go ahead and come here. I probably should have just connected here and let you come back because that's a pretty big victory for me. Like getting all the outside influence. But either way, I extend down. He does this. I Kane for that. I do this. I'm basically getting greedy and trying to kill this group. So I have to do this. The correct move is easily this. Because that gets you like these stones. Yes, I would probably do this, and then you can just like do this and get like all this territory. And while giving this up, you give up the influence, but you get all this territory. Because like I have very few. Like in this exchange, once you've actually committed to playing this way, that's the way. That's a very bad move. Like this is the way you actually have to play. Because remember, like I can't do this, you know, like you just take it. So I would definitely just do this. That's very, very bad. I would still do this at this point because I don't have the ladder here, so you would still get all this territory. It's less great than it was before, but I would still do that. So doing this, I'm going to connect this first. Now at this point, you can just do this because you have you always have the option to curl here. So this isn't really under any under threat as long as you have this. So I'm going to connect this, but then when you do this and I take this, then basically like this is all mine. That I'm going to do this. For this specific thing, like you essentially have to fight this ko. Like if you don't fight this ko, you've lost way too much here. You've like lost half your advantage. Because think about it, you have to fight this ko with me. You have plenty of ko threats here. Like you actually have a ton of ko threats. So like just doing this is a ko threat. Because if I do this and you do this, this whole group is dead now. So you have plenty. You have actually plenty of ko threats. So you have to at least attempt to fight this ko. Just playing passively and giving me this basically gives me too much territory. And yeah, like that takes away a lot of other stuff too. So that's fine. So the thing is, for this particular play, instead of playing here, you just kind of block. I have to live here. I essentially have to live here and then you can just get this. You want to separate me because like if you like even here like you would definitely just block because I have to live these two stones first and that gives you sente on these. So basically like you doing this, that's going to get me that. And you can see like you just lost about 10 points on your advantage because that is also kind of sente. You fix this. If you're going to fix this, like you would either do this or you just kind of like connect. One of those two. So I'm going to go here. That, I don't really know what the purpose of that was. I think that was a mistake. Double approach. Atari, this is fine. Atari, that's definitely a mistake. If you essentially have to do this. That's fine. You're pretty much alive here anyway, so you don't have to be too much of a mistake. Letting me take this like is pretty crucial because it fixes a lot of my problems here, and plus you have to like do that anyways. That's always I'm trying to get this territory. Counter Hane is fine. Cut, that's fine. That is not a good move because it's not worth very much. You can see here that there's just not very much territory here, and it's full of holes as well. So here you would either attack this by flying up here, and this, like in an even game, this would pretty much be dead. But you would either attack this by flying up here, or even in a more passive move, you would actually do this. Because like you're still ahead right now. So like, yeah, this is probably the better move. Either this move or this move is key. So I'm going to curl this first. I probably shouldn't even do that. I should probably just go ahead and do this right now. Get you to respond, and then I'm going to attack here. So the thing is, you got to think about it. Like, if you give me this territory and you kill these 3 stones, you're still ahead. So, I mean, I feel like you could probably just do this. But that's not too bad. I'm going to come out here, come out here, and essentially you are trading right now, but there's no way that these 3 stones actually live. It's solidly dead. I probably should have just like taken advantage here, but I wanted to see if I can actually get this to live. That's fine. That you just go here, and I don't think there's a way for white to actually live this. I don't think there's a way for white to live this. I mean, no, you actually, I mean, playing here is fine. So you actually did do the right play. I retreated. And if you just connect, there is absolutely no way for white to live. Like, no way at all. So you play here, and I'm going to cut. This is the right move. Or go up. but you do not do this. Because if you do this, like, it gives me this free move, and now, like, I only have to make one move to get this I. So essentially, like, that's perfectly fine. If you just connect, that essentially forces the ko right now. So right now, like, this is the right move. I cannot live if you do this. I can't live. So this is a mistake of like, this is like two mistakes in one. You Atari'd on the wrong side, and then you gave me a free move to make this group alive. So now this group is actually alive. So now this game is pretty much even. Even in this state, the game is pretty much even right now. That's fine. I'm going to curl. Then I'm going to do that. So the thing is, like, I could just extend here, but I feel like this is bigger because this is a very big move here. Of course, I'm just going to... That doesn't make any sense. You just do this. It's gote for me, and then you can probably do something like this or something. So then it becomes, he does that. I'm going to go ahead and do this. So there is this move here right now, and that would actually give me a lot of trouble. So that's the move that I was actually like, oh, I forgot about that move. So that's why I did this. Okay, basic. Here you don't really respond. You probably just play this. That's a good move. It leaves some room for error. And then I'm going to take that. The rest of these are kind of like closing moves. And the thing is, like, you're responding to every one of my moves. So you're responding to every single one of my moves. So but with each move, I'm actually pressing the advantage even more. Because like you can see like how the points are just like gradually increasing in my favor from this point onward. Because you're responding to all my moves. So that's basically how this game was played, how I won the handicap 9 game. There was a big mistake made down here. A big mistake made down here. Because this is dead. You Atari'd the wrong way. And the other big mistakes are like more towards the beginning of the game, where like you didn't really finish the trade. Obviously that's a mistake, not playing that move. But you know, even when you made a good move here, you didn't follow through with it. I mean, this would really put me in a hard position. The trade, like, if it's an even game, this trade is fine for white. Like, white actually gets an advantage. But since it's a handicap 9 game, once you solidify this territory, like, I can't really do much. So there was a big mistake here and the mistake here in the corner. So that's how that game was actually played. You just have to really, have to pay attention to, like, in a handicap 9 game, you're basically not trying to lose 100 points. So essentially, like, if you can actually secure enough territory where I just can't make any inroads, you're going to win. And even though this is a very damaging trade for you, you still secure this entire corner if you do this. And these two stones are pretty much yours as well. So this is like this at this point, like this is actually a very good move. At this point, that's actually a very good move, but you didn't follow through with it. And I gave you more than one chance to, because once you actually did this and I did this, like the correct, and even here, like even here, like the correct move is to actually cut. Because I can't really do much if you cut. Oh, actually, no, can I? I'm not really sure. Because I guess I could do this at this point. Yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, I guess that would work. I guess like I guess here, like after I take this, I guess the cut doesn't really work that much anymore. But before this, like you definitely want to cut. Like you definitely like here, like you definitely want to play this, and that would make the game a lot harder for me. And plus, like the mistakes on this corner. So that's the review of the game. So, and that's going to be my playing for today. Like and subscribe, hit the bell notifications button, and I will be back tomorrow.